So, one thing I want to point out is the extracellular and intracellular water.
Mm.
So, I talk about, oh, well, it's a full moon. You might be more bloated. You might be retaining water. You might be more constipated. Factually, last night was a full moon. I step on the scale 2 pounds up, and that could have made someone really upset, right? But I look at it, muscle's the same, fat's the same, it's all water. It's
Yeah,
all water.
yeah.
And the moon moves the tides in the oceans. Why do we think it's not going to affect the body water of our bodies? But it just shows that if I had weighed myself with a regular bathroom scale, it would have done some mental damage.
Mhm.
And by doing it here, it just, I love the fact that it breaks things down. Another example, and I would love for you to explain this, is if I do a weightlifting training, my weight will be up, my muscle will be up, my water will be up. The next day, I go to hot yoga and my water's down, my muscle's down, and my weight's down. Can you explain that?
Absolutely. So the phenomenon that you're talking about is colloquially called the pump, right? So when you go to the gym and you get pumped up, well, you didn't just spontaneously gain muscle, despite the fact that your muscles are significantly bigger after you've used them. It's because they're full of water, and that water gets sent to the muscle along with blood to help it perform its functions. The more full of water it is, then the more leverage that the same muscle has during its contractions. And so we can influence this with supplements like creatine, for example, which helps usher water into the muscle cells so that it's just there on hand before you even worked out. And it also makes it easier to fill them with water while working out. We could also take some vasodilators. There are some people who like some off-label uses of certain bedroom medications because it really amps up their pumps if they're trying to perform or be visibly more competitive on the stage. And so, what's happening there? If you are filling your muscles with water, your muscle does weigh more. It is literally heavier, and so you've technically increased your muscle mass. But what you haven't changed is the muscle fibers inside and the myonuclei, right? So those have remained the same. And so when we refer to things like muscle memory, when someone loses muscle because they change their diet and it rapidly comes back, it's because it's really actually kind of hard to get rid of those muscle fibers. They just deflate when they're not in use. So when you're going to the gym and you're drinking lots of water as your body's demanding it, all that water is going where it's doing its best work, which is inside your muscles, especially if you're training them hard enough to cause little bits of damage in there, then it's going to be inflamed and full of blood because it's healing. And then you went to hot yoga, which is, of course, going to encourage the body to let go of a lot of water. And one of the first places, or the first places we gain, and one of the first places we lose water is in the muscles. So if you look at the Hollywood diet, where they want to get super jacked for a specific photo, it's with massive amounts of dehydration first to get rid of all the water from the whole body, and then they'll guzzle water right before the photo itself, because the first place the body wants to put that water back is into the muscles, and that's how they get that paper thin skin, but those huge bulging muscles that are just largely unobtainable. And within an hour, they don't look like that anymore. But the photo's forever, right? So the body pod is going to correctly be able to show you that, yeah, your muscle's up, but the water is what's driving that, whereas the biological cell mass, which is a completely different metric, hasn't